Dateline: Arabian Peninsula, 7th century CE. The vast, sun-scorched deserts stretch endlessly, dotted with scattered oases and ancient trade routes. Here, in a land shaped by harsh winds and shifting sands, a remarkable transformation is about to unfold, one that will echo across continents and centuries. In these bustling marketplaces and tribal encampments, life is governed by age-old customs, fierce loyalties, and a tapestry of beliefs. The people of Arabia are divided into numerous tribes, each with its own gods, traditions, and rivalries. Yet beneath the surface, change is stirring. A new power is emerging, quietly but irresistibly. At the heart of this awakening stands a man named Muhammad. Born in Mecca, he is known for his honesty and wisdom, earning the trust of his community. But now, he steps forward with a message that will challenge the very foundations of Arabian society. Muhammad claims to receive revelations from a single, all-powerful God, Allah. These messages, delivered in moments of deep meditation and prayer, call for the worship of one God, justice, compassion, and the rejection of old idols and superstitions. This bold proclamation shakes the established order. Tribal leaders, whose power rests on ancient loyalties and polytheistic beliefs, are alarmed. Heated debates erupt as Muhammad's teachings threaten to dissolve the divisions that have defined Arabian life for generations. What began in the narrow streets of Mecca quickly grows into a movement. Followers from all walks of life, merchants, slaves, and the poor, are drawn to the promise of unity and justice. The message spreads, shaking the region's foundations and inspiring hope among the marginalized. The Kaaba, once filled with idols representing many gods, is rededicated to the worship of one God alone. This act is more than symbolic. It marks a monumental shift in spiritual and social life, signaling the dawn of a new era for Arabia. The revolution sparked by Muhammad's message transforms a scattered, often warring people into a united community. They become the architects of a new world empire, bound together by faith, law, and a shared vision for the future. The tremors from this extraordinary event soon ripple far beyond Arabia. As Islam spreads, it reshapes cultures, inspires new forms of art and learning, and lays the foundation for a global civilization that will influence the course of history for centuries to come. The rise of Islam was a turning point in human history. It began with a simple yet profound message of unity in a land long divided, and it set in motion a story of faith, resilience, and transformation that continues to inspire millions around the world today. Before the rise of Islam, the Arabian Peninsula was not a single unified nation as we might imagine today. Instead, it was a patchwork of fiercely independent tribes, each with its own customs, leaders, and territories. These tribes were often separated by vast stretches of desert, making communication and unity difficult. The land was harsh and unforgiving, shaping the people who lived there into resilient survivors, deeply loyal to their kin and their way of life. In this world, loyalty to family and tribe was the highest virtue. Honor and reputation were everything, and any perceived slight could spark a feud that lasted for generations. These conflicts were not just about land or resources, but about pride and survival. Blood feuds and cycles of revenge were common, and violence was a constant threat, shaping the social fabric of pre-Islamic Arabia. This era is known as the Jahiliyyah, or the Age of Ignorance. It was a time marked by almost constant tribal warfare and a complex tapestry of pagan beliefs. People worshipped a multitude of gods and spirits, with each tribe having its own deities and sacred places. Religious practices varied widely, and rituals were often tied to the cycles of nature and the harsh realities of desert life. The landscape was dominated by two main groups: the Bedouins, who were nomadic pastoralists moving with their herds across the desert, and the settled Fellahin, who lived in cities and towns like Mecca, Yathrib, and Taif. The Bedouins prized freedom and mobility, while the city dwellers built thriving communities around trade and agriculture. Despite their differences, both groups were shaped by the challenges of desert life. Trade was the lifeblood of Arabia. The peninsula's cities became vital hubs on the caravan routes that connected the Mediterranean world with India, Persia, and Africa. Merchants transported spices, textiles, incense, and precious metals, making cities like Mecca centers of wealth and cultural exchange. The constant movement of goods and people brought new ideas, stories, and influences from distant lands. The economy thrived not only on legitimate trade, but also on raiding. Caravans, often carrying valuable luxury goods, were tempting targets for rival tribes. Raiding was seen as a legitimate way to gain wealth and prestige, and successful raids could elevate a tribe's status and power. This constant interplay of commerce and conflict defined the economic landscape of pre-Islamic Arabia. Arabia was not isolated from the wider world. Powerful empires like the Byzantine to the northwest and the Sassanian to the northeast sought to extend their influence over the region, often by forging alliances with local tribes or supporting rival factions. These external pressures added another layer of complexity to the already fractured political landscape. Amidst this diversity, new religious ideas began to take root. Christianity and Judaism, brought by traders and migrants, introduced the concept of monotheism to the region. These faiths found followers among some tribes, challenging the old pagan order and setting the stage for a new, unifying message that would soon emerge from the heart of Arabia. Muhammad ibn Abdullah was born in Mecca around 570 CE, in the Banu Hashim clan. Known for his honesty, he earned the title Al-Amin, the trustworthy. Married to Khadija, he was troubled by Mecca's social inequalities and retreated to meditate. In 610 CE, the angel Gabriel visited him, delivering the first verses of the Quran. The message, "There is no God but God, and Muhammad is his messenger." This radical message called for monotheism, social justice, and equality, challenging Mecca's power structure. Muhammad's message met fierce resistance in Mecca, threatening the Quraysh's power. His followers faced persecution, but his uncle Abu Talib's protection was crucial. In 619 CE, the year of sorrow, both Khadija and Abu Talib died, leaving Muhammad vulnerable. Delegations from Yathrib invited him to mediate their tribal conflicts. In 622 CE, the Hijra marked a strategic relocation to Yathrib, later Medina. This journey transformed Islam from a persecuted minority to a community with a political base. The migration to Medina, known as the Hijra, marked a turning point in the life of Muhammad and his followers. This move not only provided the early Muslim community with a safe haven, but it also intensified the long-standing conflict with the powerful city of Mecca. Tensions escalated as both sides vied for influence and control over trade routes and religious authority in the region, making open confrontation almost inevitable. The first major clash came at the Battle of Badr in 624 CE. Despite being vastly outnumbered, the Muslim force, led by Muhammad, managed to defeat the much larger and better-equipped Meccan army. This unexpected victory was seen as a sign of divine support and dramatically boosted the morale of the Muslims. It also enhanced Muhammad's reputation as a capable leader and strategist, attracting new allies and followers to his cause. The triumph at Badr sent shockwaves through Arabia, but the struggle was far from over. The following year, at the Battle of Uhud, the Muslims faced a significant setback. Despite early successes, a lapse in discipline led to a reversal of fortune, and the Meccans gained the upper hand. This defeat was a sobering lesson, teaching the importance of unity, discipline, and steadfastness in the face of adversity. The Muslims regrouped and learned from their mistakes. In 627 CE, Mecca and its allies launched a massive assault on Medina, leading to the Battle of the Trench. Instead of meeting the enemy head-on, the Muslims adopted a novel defensive strategy by digging a deep trench around the city, making it nearly impossible for the attackers to breach their defenses. The siege dragged on for weeks, but the attackers failed to break through. Harsh weather, dwindling supplies, and internal divisions forced the Meccan coalition to retreat in defeat. This victory solidified Muhammad's unassailable position in Medina and demonstrated the effectiveness of unity and innovative tactics. Over the next few years, Muhammad skillfully forged alliances with various tribes across Arabia, expanding his influence and building a powerful coalition. By 630 CE, he was ready to confront Mecca directly. With a formidable army at his command, Muhammad marched on Mecca. Facing overwhelming odds, the city's leaders chose to surrender peacefully rather than risk destruction. In a remarkable act of mercy, Muhammad offered amnesty to his former enemies. He entered the Kaaba, destroyed its idols, and rededicated it to the worship of one God. This act symbolized the unification of Arabia under Islam, marking the beginning of a new era of faith, unity, and peace across the region. Muhammad's death in 632 CE created a leadership crisis. Abu Bakr became the first caliph, uniting Arabia through the Ridda Wars. Umar's caliphate saw phenomenal expansion and administrative reforms. Uthman's reign continued expansion, but faced internal tensions and accusations of nepotism. His assassination in 656 CE plunged the empire into civil war. The unification of Arabia unleashed a powerful force onto the world stage. The concept of jihad drove expansion, with early Muslims believing God was on their side. The Byzantine and Sassanian empires were exhausted from war, ripe for conquest. Arab armies, fast and motivated, used the desert to their advantage. Key victories at Yarmouk and Al-Qadisiyah led to the conquest of Syria, Palestine, and Mesopotamia. Within decades, a new Islamic empire stretched from Libya to India. Uthman's assassination in 656 CE triggered the first fitna, a major civil war. Ali became the fourth caliph, facing challenges from Muawiyah and others. The Battle of the Camel and Battle of Siffin marked key conflicts. The Kharijites, a radical faction, broke away, condemning both Ali and Muawiyah. Ali's assassination in 661 CE ended the era of the rightly guided caliphs. This period laid the foundation for the Sunni-Shia split. Ali's death marked a transformation in the Islamic world. Muawiyah established the Umayyad Caliphate, shifting to a dynastic empire. The Sunni-Shia split formalized, with Sunnis accepting Muawiyah's legitimacy. Shia believed leadership belonged to Ali's descendants. The early conquests created a multicultural empire, with non-Muslims as dhimmi. The legacy of this rise is a new global civilization, but early conflicts left lasting divisions.